Hey guys, so I have some new Revolution Beauty products and more today, products to talk about. So let's first talk about the and more part of the video, and that is the jewelry that I'm wearing, this choker and these earrings. Now, I don't know how well you'll be able to see, but these are little bats with a little red thing underneath it, and then the choker. And I found these at Walmart. When you walk into Walmart, they're right in the center of the center aisle, right at the beginning of the center aisle when you walk in the store. So if you park like in the middle of the parking lot, when you walk in that center entrance, there's a big cardboard display there with tons of Halloween jewelry. And I got the choker and the earrings as a set for only $5. So there's a bat in the middle, and then there's little red decorations, and then the choker itself is black with a red, like burgundy red strip right in the middle of it. But $5, you guys. What a deal. Okay, so that's the and more part of the video. Now, the Revolution Beauty does not have a permanent display at Walmart, but they do occasionally put in temporary displays. And let me tell you how I found this, because if I didn't tell you where it was, you would never find it. So if you go in the middle part of the store and go to the beauty section, if you go all the way to the back of the beauty section, and you're looking at that wall in the back, and you start heading down like towards the shaving cream and toothpaste and that, right on an end cap, not even in the beauty section, but like in the health section, toothpaste, shaving cream, but you're still on that back wall there on an end cap. It's a Revolution Beauty display. On that are a bunch of different products. A couple of the new Bouncy blushes that just came out. Bouncy Blur blushes in the shades Berry and Rose. These are the two shades that are on the display. These are brand new blushes. The full line is at Ulta, but I thought these colors were really pretty, so I just got these two instead of going to Ulta. So that's what they look like. So what I did today was I put the rose one on first, and then I put this on sort of almost like a contour, because I wanted to try both of them. And the way I applied them was I wet a beauty blender and then wrung out the excess water and just let it sit for a few minutes so that it was damp rather than really wet. And I bounced this into the blush and stippled them on my face. So you can't see them that well because I don't like a lot of blush. But what's confusing me about these is they're called Bouncy Blur blushes, but they're not bouncy. They're not soft. Like if I stick my finger in there, it feels like it's hard. It's not bouncy or soft at all. So I don't know if I got a couple of bad ones or old ones, but I do like it. Let me do a swatch for you. And it does feel wet when you touch it, but it's not soft and it's not bouncy. So those are what the two colors look like. But I thought they were really pretty, and it's hard to say what is going on there, but I've watched a bunch of videos on YouTube and nobody has said anything about it being anything other than soft and bouncy. So I don't know what happened there, but I do like them and they are pretty, but it's just the texture is not what I was expecting. Mine aren't soft or bouncy. So I don't know what happened there, but let me know if any of you had that experience. Now I also got this. This was on the display too. It is the Cherry Icon palette. Now it says on the back that most of them have an asterisk and it says pressed powder. I would describe these more as pressed pigments. If I had filmed myself doing this look, it would have been a long, long video because these are very, very pigmented. But when I saw this, I immediately was thinking Anastasia Renaissance is what it reminded me of. So these are all powdered eyeshadows. These are creams, and they put a little piece of plastic on here to protect the creams. Trying to get my fingernail underneath that little thing. I'm going to have to grab something else. I had to pry it up with something else. So it says cream blossom and cream cherry. So I didn't use either one of these. I was thinking about using them as like eyeshadow primers, but I didn't know if you could do that because I think they're supposed to be cream shadows. But they feel very nice. So that's what the two colors look like. Wow. Wow, that dark one is really dark. Yeah, that'd be too dark to use as an eyeshadow primer, but you could use it to darken up the outside part of your eye instead of an eyeshadow. So what did I use? I used this on my lids, this in the outer part of the eyeshadow look, and I used this one here as a highlight shade, brow bone highlight and inner corner highlight. But yeah, this reminds me so much of the Anastasia Modern Renaissance palette that I used to have years ago. But the powder eyeshadows are extremely pigmented. I mean, I had to work blending this for an unbelievable amount of time. Now, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. It just depends on your level of expertise, but I think a beginner would have a real hard time with this. And it does not say pressed pigments. On the back it says pressed powders. Now, it also does not have an asterisk on this one or this one or this one. So if they're not pressed powders, what are they? So I'm kind of confused because there's different textures there. Like the one in the bottom corner is a matte. And then the one I used as the highlight is a glitter. So yeah, I'm very confused as to the terminology there. But I hadn't had a Revolution Beauty eyeshadow palette, well, I guess that's what it is technically, in a long, long time. And I wanted to sort of revisit the brand. I buy Revolution once in a great, great while, and it has been very hit and miss for me. I've had experiences where I really liked some of the things that I've tried, and then I've had experiences where things were just okay, and then I've had experiences where I didn't like stuff at all. So I don't buy the brand that often just because I never know what to expect, you know? Like I'm wearing this highlighter on my face from, oh wow, what a mess I'm making here. Um, I gotta stop and wipe all this stuff up off, all these swatches, because it's going all over the place. I'll be right back. Okay, I got most of it off, but yeah, I was transferring those swatches everywhere. But yeah, all this stuff is very, very pigmented. So yeah, I've had a very mixed experience with the brand in general, so it makes me a little reluctant to try it. But the last thing that I bought that was on the display was the Star Blur Shimmer Matte Liquid Lipstick in the shade Midnight Eclipse. Now, when you think midnight, you think black, right? Well, what this actually is a super dark purple, which I'm definitely okay with. I'm actually very happy that it wasn't black because it looks very black in the component, but this shade is a super dark purple. Like, see the color on the stick down at the base here? That shows you the color. And what this is if you've never tried one of these types of product before, it's a liquid lipstick. You put it on and then you wait a minute, and then when you press your lips together, a bunch of shimmer just magically appears. It's pretty cool concept, and I don't know how they do that chemically, but I like it. It's very, very goth, very vamp, and that's the whole point, I guess, because I think the display had other like very Halloween type products on it that you would be using like for Halloween and not necessarily the rest of the year, but it depends on how goth you are, I guess. But yeah, I like this a lot. Actually, I like everything that I bought. It's just like I said, if you are a beginner, this would be too much for you as far as trying to blend it and apply it and get it to look like even and finished looking. So I would say this is for not experts, but more advanced people in makeup. Um, and then these, I do like them. I think they're very pretty, and I love the way the blush came out when I used it, especially where I used both of them and did like one as my base blush and the other one as like a contour. Like I didn't use any actual contour on my face today because I had planned on doing them that way. I just don't understand why they're not bouncy or soft, because that's what I was expecting when I decided to go in with this. I went in thinking that they were going to be soft when they weren't. So not sure what happened there, but I do like them despite the fact that they weren't bouncy. So yeah, I do like everything that I bought, but yeah, if you're looking for that display, it's just outside the beauty area, like in those other aisles that have like cold medicine and toothpaste and shaving cream and that. So you're going to have to go beyond the beauty area to find this display. But when I went back a couple days later, this dark purple shade was gone from the display. So that's the one that everybody went for. But anybody that bought it thinking it was going to be black is going to be very surprised when they find out it's actually a very deep purple shade. But I like it. They also had a red, and there was another color too. I can't remember off the top of my head what the other color was, but there's a lot of interesting things on that display, and I stood there for the longest time trying to decide, but my eyes went right to this beautiful, like Anastasia Modern Renaissance knockoff palette. But I do like it, and I'm very curious about those cream products and how those are going to perform and how I'm going to be using them. Like the light shade, can I use that as an eyeshadow palette? If you have any experience with these types of palettes from Revolution, let me know. Can I use that as an eyeshadow primer? Because it looks like you probably could, but I'm not sure if it would crease or whatever. So thanks for watching, guys. Any feedback you have, like I said, I don't buy a lot of Revolution, so I'm not really sure about some of these products and, what their reputation is or whatever. I know the Bouncy Blur blushes just came out, but I just don't understand why mine aren't soft. All right, thanks for watching and subscribing, and give this video a thumbs up if you like this, and I'll see you next time. Bye.